Welcome to Studio Talks. Today I'll be discussing artistic process. We'll start by looking at my own artistic process. I'll start by gathering inspiration from different artists. Once I have inspiration, I'll create different sketches until I reach an idea I like. Once sketching is complete, I'll start by priming my canvas for painting. Next, I'll add a wash of color to my canvas to get rid of the white background. When the wash is complete, I'll start adding my design. For this painting, I'm depicting a human as a machine by illustrating a human brain plugged into the wall by a phone charger. I construct my painting by adding layer after layer of paint until I believe my illustration is finished. Before I reveal the final painting, let's see how other artists approach artistic process.
Hi, my name is Maddie Aday. I am a fourth-year BFA in the visual arts major, majoring in drawing and painting, with minors as well in communications and the arts and mass media, as well as art history. This is my studio.
Hi, my name is Dave Rose. I'm a senior and I'm a BFA in New Media in the School of Visual Arts.
Usually in terms of my process, I start by kind of gathering a lot of visual images and concepts, whether it's through looking at stuff online, just like looking at my surroundings. A lot of my work deals with the natural landscape, so even just looking outside, being hyper aware of my surroundings, and how things like light and shadow play into that. While I'm building my imagery in my head, I'm also simultaneously building a color palette to accompany that. I'll usually start in one area with like a designated shape and then kind of build off around there. So all the shapes kind of influence each other and they kind of move around the one that came before it. So it's kind of linear in that sense, where it just kind of like expands out from one thing, the way that like my piece expands from one idea.
So for me, I like to have an emotion, reflect on that emotion, create art that is reflecting that emotion, and then after the fact, I will do research on historical context and any ways I can improve the expression of my art.
The way that I have created art and thought about art over the years has changed so much. Before coming into college, I kind of struggled with like generating ideas on my own. A, I was never an abstract artist. B, I never would in my like wildest dreams think of painting something or creating something that doesn't represent life. But with the work I'm doing now, I'm constantly in it, constantly involved, because there's no guidelines, there's no boundaries, and it's always changing.
I would say my approach to artwork in general and each individual piece varies in that my philosophy as a young artist is ever evolving, and the way I approach art as a lifestyle and each painting each day is going to evolve based off my mood, my wisdoms, what I know. That my paintings do vary greatly based on my state of mind when I make.
I think that your process, your thought behind it, your way of making is super important in how you want to communicate about your work and how you want others to think about your work. There always has to be an artist behind the work, and when there's an artist behind the work, if they're not driven, the work's not going to be driven. If you're passionate about it, it'll show, and then it'll motivate other people to think about your work in a different way.
Artistic process is crucial, actually, because it is the most human part of an artwork. How someone approaches their art is what lets the audience know a person created it, and a person with experiences and feelings and soul, because how they approach artwork is often how they approach life.
Thank you to these artists for providing their input on artistic process. Here's my finished painting, which concludes my artistic process for today. Before you go, I wanted to include some takeaway tips for you to grow your students' artistic process and your own. Thanks for joining me in Studio Talks.